Hi everybody, this is Noelle from Petitti Garden Centers. We're here at Oakwood Village and we are doing what's in store for June. And it's a lovely morning, nice and cool. All the plants are so happy after we've had this kind of long dry spell. And I'm going to tell you, the lilies are looking awesome. And you'll see all of these lilies. These are all Oriental varieties from the Lily Looks series. Lily Looks is pretty cool because they're kind of a compact Oriental lily and so many different colors, absolutely gorgeous. We've got the ink spot. I love this one. It's kind of a deep peachy orange, terracotta orange with a nice burgundy purple center. That's ink. Some of the speckles, this yellow with the red freckles is called PARROT. This beautiful yellow, it is a clear, bright yellow, kind of like a daffodil yellow. That is going to be Ranger. And then we've got some pinks over here, Diamond. It has like a white center to it. The white is called Crystal, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then, did I say the red? The bright red is Rocket. So they're all beautiful. Like I said, very compact. Your lilies are very, very dependable in Northeast Ohio, no problem whatsoever. They do or would prefer well-drained soils, bright, sunny areas, of course. The only thing is you have to protect them from the deer. So that's the one drawback there. But they really are a reliable plant. And underplanted with coral bells. This one's forever purple. We love the frilly leaves, nice ruffly leaves on this one. Kind of a blush pink to white bellflower, and you see them right down here. Short stems, they're not super tall growers, but really, really gorgeous. Really nice to kind of complement the green sort of lance texture of that green lily foliage. And then of course the ruffly purple is great. And then if you want to add a trio or another plant to this, look at this. This is Nepeta or catmint. We talk about this a lot and we're starting to see it a lot in landscaping because it's such an easy plant to grow. And look at that nice tuft of kind of periwinkle blue flower spikes through there. This is a mint. It is very deer resistant and it's a great pollinator attractant as well. So try these little mounds of purple around. You will not be disappointed in the garden. We're in Stella's runway. So we love Stella because she always gives us some kind of combinations, complementary plants that go together. And I love this right now in early June when it's perennial month and you think about, what am I gonna grow right now? If you need some color in the garden or you need some cut flowers, this is a beautiful Shasta daisy, excuse me. It's called Whoopsie-daisy. And you can tell really height on this one is gonna be about 20 inches. So it's not too tall, not too short. Huge flowers. These are probably about 3 inches across. Just beautiful daisy, of course, great for pollinators as well. They love to have the daisies to kind of sit and rest on and of course get a lot of pollen and nectar from the center. But see how Stella paired it with, this is going to be your red leafed lobelia, your perennial lobelia. So upright, spiky. The blooms, the buds are just starting to form. But again, look at the contrast between the green foliage, the red foliage, and then of course you're going to have a spiky flower come up behind a nice kind of mounded daisy. So again, the textures work really well, the colors work really well. They can grow in the same areas, sunny areas. You know, daisies, they're so easy. My gosh, you plant a daisy and you'll be able to give the neighbors and family and everybody else daisies. So just keep on cutting, making sure that you're cutting these stems so they continue to produce for you. And meanwhile, the lobelia is going to just pop up right behind it. And this combo right next door, I love, this is Peach Flambe. This is one of my favorite coral bells or heuchera. Again, beautiful kind of terracotta colors. You get a little peach, you get a little bit of that kind of purpley pink in it too. So really changeable, contrasts really well with the spiky flowers of this veronica. This is Royal Candles. Royal Candles is a standard classic plant. It's been perennial plant of the year a number of years ago. Very, very easy to grow in the garden, no problem. Nice kind of medium blue. And then we have it again with some of the oriental lilies. This is kind of a tomato red orange here. So really, really beautiful combination of the three. Over across, and we want to show you, this is a new lupin for us. Oh my gosh, I forgot this one, Taylor. So these are not new lupin, just so you know. This is another veronica. So veronica in June. It's really, really beautiful. This is a Vernique. This is a dark blue here. Really great color, but look how it complements that bright yellow daisy of the coreopsis. This is Sunfire coreopsis. Again, very, very easy to grow, both of these plants. Sunny areas again, and we'll show you a little bit of shade plants here coming up. But again, for June and perennial month, these two make a wonderful combination. Now we're gonna go over to this lupin over my shoulder here. And this is a new one for us. This is Polar Princess, and just a beautiful pure white flower spike here. Once again, you get that kind of sweet, peppery smell out of this plant. Again, remember with your lupins, you want to make sure that they are in really well-drained soil. They even like, you know, raised beds, really gritty kind of underneath, so you know that that water is definitely draining away. For sunny part shade areas, no problem. And then look at this one. This is a new catmint for us. This is Purple Prelude. And you'll see it's in a blue pot. So when you come to Petitti's and you see perennials in that blue pot, it's usually new and blue. And look at how large these flowers are compared to some of the other catmint that we're familiar with, but really, really showy, beautiful tubular flowers. Foliage is a little bit larger, a little bit more, has more of a green cast versus that silvery blue-green cast that you see with the catmints, but really beautiful. And again, you can't go wrong. Very deer resistant and really aromatic too. We're right by a newer hardy geranium, and I don't know, Taylor and I were just talking, like, I don't think we've ever really covered the hardy geraniums before, but they're really easy to grow perennial plant. Sunny areas can take some part shade. They can take clay soil. They're, you know, native. There's natives. So it's really a cool plant in this area, and usually you'll find them in the blues and the purple. So if you're looking for that color and sort of long-lasting, repeat blooming, they really are a nice plant to grow. And this one right by me, this is actually called Boom Chocolata, and it is this lovely kind of lavender purple flower here, but the foliage is a little bit darker. It has kind of a dark green, little bit of a purple to it, nice little purple edge, but nice low growing mounded geranium. And then I'm going to show you a couple others down this way where you see all the color. I mean, they really come out really well in June. It's Perennial Gardening Month. And you see Max Fry is up here. It's kind of a bright sort of fuchsia violet through this area, really low. Max Fry really in the ground. And in pots, I'll tell you, they stretch. They don't look great in pots. But when you get them into the garden, Max Fry is this little mound of 10 to 12 inches, beautiful bright pink. Like I said, fuchsia to violet flowers, really, really beautiful. And then this one down below is Kellyanne. Now I'm going to lift this flower up, and Taylor will come by and she'll show you kind of the inside of that flower. But Kellyanne is actually the rose pink variety of kind of the complement to Roseanne. So I'm going to show you Roseanne because Roseanne is Perennial Plant of the Year, numerous awards, really, really beautiful. But Kellyanne is a newer one for us and really great. Aromatic foliage, so these plants tend to be more deer resistant out there in the perennial garden, and just so lovely. They complement the spiky flowers of the veronica. They complement daisies. So really, I just absolutely love them. They're very easy to grow. Look at Roseanne. She's over here. And those nice kind of, she's not quite true blue, but really, really close. But beautiful blue kind of periwinkle flowers here. And again, just mounded, beautiful foliage, kind of like a maple leaf foliage. It's a little bit mottled, but really beautiful texture, mounded plants, easy care, deer resistance, all the good things. We're by the penstemon or beard tongue, and if you look inside the flowers, that's really how they get their name, as they used to have a little bit more fuzz inside those flowers. And there's lots of color varieties with penstemon, but I don't think people realize how easy they are to grow. And you can grow them in full sun to part shade. You can grow them in clay soil. They are native plants, so they do really, really well for us. And you get some early blooming in the perennial garden, lots of colors. So you have rock candy blue here. This is red rocks. We love red rocks. It's always blooming. It seems to bloom all throughout the summer season for us. Electric blue, if you're looking for a nice, bright, vivid kind of sky blue there. And then I love the darker foliage types. This one's called Mystica, but you get that kind of green, burgundy red or wine red foliage. And then the flowers, they actually have just a light, sort of lavender color to them, and they appear white after a while. And it's just a beautiful plant, easy way to get some beautiful color. And again, great pollinator plant, good deer resistance. There's a lot of bonuses with the penstemon. Around the corner, we're gonna go this way, and you can tell, again, you're gonna see some of the nepeta in bloom. There's a ton of meadow sage in bloom, all the different colors. Here's the lobelia, again, the perennial lobelia. So you're gonna have that foliage. Look at that. The lavender is really starting to bud up and get going for us. So we're really excited about that. But do you see this spiky one? This is Nephafia, torch lily, red hot poker. But these are great perennial plants. They're awesome for those sunny, well-drained areas. You can throw them out in rock gardens if you want to. Underplant with some hens and chicks looks really, really pretty. But look at all the different spike colors, some yellow, some orange, some all different, yellow, peach, and orange, but great tubular flowers for the hummingbirds especially. But you'll see bees around these as well too. And I love the spiky foliage. So it kind of appears like it's gonna be an ornamental grass, and then all of a sudden you get the flower spikes coming up from there. So this is, again, a great plant if you have sunny spots. They do awesome for us. Hi everybody, we're in hosta land, and you can see, a lot of different foliage colors here with the hosta, and that's what it does for us in the shade. And I want to show you one of our favorites, very, very reliable, right in front of me. This is all Patriot hosta, and Patriot hosta is just the coolest plant because I think from a long distance you can look over in a garden and realize, oh my gosh, that's Patriot. And what's cool about Patriot is it will stay very crisp. The white edges on this foliage will stay very nice and white in shade, but also in sun. So you can put Patriot just about anywhere you want. Again, keep the moisture up if you're going to put this plant out in sun, because of course hostas really prefer to be in that cooler, shadier spot. But boy, does it stay crisp. It's a medium size hosta. It doesn't get too big. It's not too small. Really shows up and is really, really beautiful. And then if you look right behind, this one is Minuteman. And so Minuteman is actually a sport of Patriot. And you can tell just a little bit different leaf shape. This one has a little bit more of that emphasized heart shape foliage. And the margins are slightly thicker. So you see a little bit more white to it, but same thing. It stays really nice and crisp, beautiful white edges, great green color in the middle, and they're just the easiest hosta to grow. You can grow them just about anywhere. And then with those, if you look over here, the astilbe are just starting, as I have a trip and fall. The astilbe are just starting to bloom. And I'll tell you, Rhineland is this first one. This beautiful blush pink is just starting to come out. Usually the chinensis type of astilbe are the first bloomers, but you'll start to see that first peak of color out of the astilbe now. And again, great for part shade to shade, can put them out in sun. You gotta keep the moisture level up on them. They can't dry out. That's the one bad thing. Don't do that to astilbe and they'll do great for you. It smells phenomenal over here. We're right by the honeysuckle, and I know honeysuckle, there are varieties that are invasive, okay, invasive plants of Ohio. This is not this type of honeysuckle. This is Lonicera simpliflorens, or sempervirens, that's what it is. And I'm going to tell you, this is a great plant. Yes, they can grow, very vigorously and aggressively. You do need to support them, archways or what have you, trellises, but they will grow and bloom and do beautifully for you. I'm going to tell you, I'm standing by the red one. This is Major Wheeler, and Taylor will show you a picture. But these buds here are just these long tubes, and when they open up, there's a little bit of yellow in the center, and then it's kind of a tropical orangey red on the outside. They're really awesome. Major Wheeler is very dependable, awesome plant. We have Mandarin, which is more of an orange, but I'm gonna back Taylor up here, and then this one is Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea by far is producing so much perfume. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely wonderful. Beautiful yellow flowers, as you can tell, kind of a bicolor. You get a little bit of dark gold into like a lighter primrose yellow and a white. So really beautiful plants. They will produce some berries, some red berries at the end here, but oh my gosh, it smells so good over here. You all know we love our hydrangeas here at Petitti's, and we've got two new ones to show you. We'll show you others later, but for June, these are looking absolutely gorgeous. This is Let's Dance Sky View. It is a new proven winner variety, and Taylor can show you, just look at how even and uniform these buds have come up on this plant. It's just, they are beautiful mounded varieties, and every branch is just producing flowers for you. What's great about the Let's Dance series in general, so when you see a mophead hydrangea or macrophylla hydrangea with the Let's Dance or in the Let's Dance series, it means that they are repeat blooming. They will bloom on old wood and they'll bloom on new wood, but they will kind of continuously pop up those buds. So don't be afraid to cut them. Again, when we're cutting flowers on the macrophylla hydrangeas, we usually go down 2 sets of leaves and then cut above that next node, okay? So not too long of a stem, but these guys will continue to produce for you. Now, Skyview has a very pretty light blue, pastel blue flower. Typically, you can change the color on it, but it tends to go towards blue. And then in the center, it has that like honeydew green coloring. So it's a beautiful sort of bicolor blossom. Absolutely gorgeous. Just beautiful. And then right next door here, we're going to show you a new one too. This one's called Wee Bit Grumpy. Haha. And you probably saw this in our magazine this season, but Wee Bit Grumpy, you can tell, very short and compact. Again, macrophylla or mophead hydrangea. And the flower on this one is like a deep kind of violet purple. This one here has almost like a burgundy color to it with a purple edge on it. And everybody asks, why was it called Wee Bit Grumpy? And it's because of the moody color of the flower. That's what the breeder said. So again, look at that. But I'm starting to notice that they have a little bit of a dark tone to the foliage as well. So maybe we'll get a little bit of, you know, colorful foliage and really beautiful flowers as they fill out here. Nice and compact. This one, however, just so you know, is not in that Let's Dance series. So this one's going to be one of those macrophylla hydrangeas that you're going to want to protect over the winter, because it really does produce better on old wood. So you've got to protect it over the winter time. Make sure you're mulching, make sure you're wrapping with burlap, spraying anti-desiccant on those stems to really hold the moisture in so it doesn't dry out over the winter. But yeah, this one needs a little bit more protection, a little bit more care than some of the others. But it's the sacrifice you make sometimes when you want those beautiful, deep, colored flowers. I wanted to show you, these are new for us at Petitti's. They are called the Reminiscent series. And basically, kind of cool story with these, that Serbian growers grow these, and they're all female grower group. And they have developed these flowers that they sort of imitate that old world type rose, if you will. Beautiful cabbage rose, lots of different petals here, good fragrance, and also growing from their own root system. So there's no bud union, no graft. They're growing right from their own root. They're root hardy, cold hardy, and really beautiful. I mean, their foliage is clean and spotless. So they look wonderful as far as disease resistance. And you can see all the buds and kind of clusters that are going to be forming here on this rose. But really, really beautiful, kind of cabbagey look to them. The bud, when it first starts opening, is a nice little kind of mini bud, if you will, as they open. And then look at that. Look at all those ruffly petals inside. So really, really beautiful plant. These guys get to be like 2 to 3 foot in the garden. They do appear to have a pretty good upright growth right now, but there's new growth kind of coming off the bottom here. So I'm kind of interested to see how they'll develop through the flowering season. And again, don't be afraid to cut roses and use them as a cut flower, because the more you cut and use these and move down to that next productive bud or side shoot, the better that these roses will grow and fill out and branch for you. Now, crema is another color, and it's just over here. And we're gonna go this way and look at, oh my gosh, these flowers are even bigger than the reminiscent pink. But look at this flower. It almost looks like a peony. Again, beautiful color. It is a creamy white. It's not a pure white. You do have a little bit of that primrose yellow and cream kind of coming out of the center here. But these flowers are really, really large. And again, they're just filled with buds. And the foliage is clean as can be. And again, with overhead watering that we use in the garden center, you know, that's usually a no-no for rose growers. I mean, you really do want to water at the base, but when we have to water so many plants, it's kind of hard to do that. So again, just with all the water droplets, they look absolutely gorgeous. Now, there's another series right here that Proven Winners came out with. And again, there's these female breeders out of Serbia, and they have it's not a true climbing rose. It's sort of like mid-size climber. So you could grow it as a shrub rose, or you could grow it on a shorter trellis. And the series is called Rise Up. And Rise Up Amberness is this rose here. Again, large flowers, really, really beautiful color on this with the peach and gold, you know, coloration, sort of a blend. but all in bud and looking absolutely beautiful. And I do feel like the stems are strong enough to hold the flowers up, but once they get a little bit more height, I'm wondering if you will need that support of a smaller trellis to kind of lean onto with these roses. But really beautiful amberness here. And then look at this one. This is Lilac Days. Look at how beautiful, bright pink buds, opens up to kind of that lavender lilac color. These roses a little bit smaller than amberness, but my gosh, are they profuse. So beautiful coloring here. And again, I can't emphasize enough, no spots, nothing showing, no dark areas, nothing. Looking absolutely gorgeous out here. Again, give them full sun, well-drained soil, and always feed your roses. We're in the annual house now, and we still have plenty of color. So if you haven't gotten out and planted any of your annuals in containers, window baskets or boxes, my goodness, or out in your garden beds, you still have plenty of time. There's definitely, the weather has been a little bit uncooperative for us, cool and wet early on, and then all of a sudden hot and dry, and now we've kind of regulated back down to normal, I think, for June. But needless to say, if you need a plant for part shade, okay, and you're looking for beautiful flowering and fragrance, which still blows my mind. This is a begonia. It is called Fragrant Falls. We do grow them in hanging baskets because you get a little bit of that trailing habit with them. But look at how big these flowers are. They are like peony-sized flowers, absolutely gorgeous, and they are scented. They have a kind of a sweet, citrusy smell to them. They are awesome. So really, for your baskets, pots, oh my gosh, in the ground, awesome, awesome. There's two colors. There's lemon and there's also peach, and they are just beautiful. And if you haven't gotten planted your veggies in the veggie garden, no problem whatsoever. Plenty of tumbler tomatoes still available. If you haven't grown this, we will show you, Taylor will show you pictures of her tumbler and how much fruit it has produced. And you keep on picking, cut it back, do whatever you need to do, keep feeding, keep watering. Awesome. Really, really great producer of those nice size red cherries. Just beautiful. Right next to me, I have the bush steak tomato. So again, this is going to be a beefsteak type, but nice bushy plant growing through the supports here. But I'm going to tell you, full in flower, no problem. And look at how dense the foliage is. It's going to stay upright in the pot. Keep it in the pot all season. Just grow it out on your porch or patio. Again, 6 or more hours of sunlight is what you need, and just keep it watered and fertilized. And again, you'll have beautiful beefsteak tomatoes. We're gonna keep moving down. We've got plenty of herbs too. So make sure, if you need your parsley, your basil, sage, thyme, what have you. I just got watered. It's all good. And you see all the different tomato varieties. If you need cherries, paste tomatoes, what have you, lots and lots of different varieties here still available in case you might have lost one early on, or my gosh, we were so dry for a while there. Sometimes you just end up needing replacements, even if the deer came through and nibbled. Lots of peppers. I'm not here, I'm at the end of the tomatoes now, but plenty of peppers throughout, just depending on what you want to grow. Milds, hots, and then just regular sweets as well too. This one's really cute. This is confetti. And what we love about confetti is it has that white mottled foliage to it. So somebody might say, oh my gosh, is there something wrong with that plant? It is not. It has the mottled white variegation to it. And then confetti pepper is like a mini bell pepper, multicolored. So they really are a great sweet mini bell, multicolored. So kind of like the ones you pick up in the little plastic baggie at the grocery store. you can grow it right at your home. One of my favorite little summer flowers is celosia. These guys are the plumosa type, so they have that plume flower or kind of fiery spark flower. I absolutely love it. This is kimono red, nice dark burgundy foliage, and then that sort of fuchsia red, really bright, vivid color, sort of jewel tones, if you will. These plants are great for really hot, sunny areas. And you'll see with this is the Fashion Look series. And what's cool about this is it's going to be a mixture of colors. Sometimes you'll get the darker foliage, reds, with the lighter foliages, like the yellow and the orange too. So really fun mix, great for the sun. And with your celosia, they're one of those types of heirloom plants that they'll last a long time, they'll dry, you can use them as a cut flower, everlasting flower as well. Just easy plants, really easy bedding plants. Great in containers, so try them out there. And they grow really well with zinnias. And we have two different types of zinnias here. Actually, there's more than two, sorry, I just lied. But the ones that I wanted to show you right here in front of me are the profusion type. Now, if you've never grown profusion zinnias, where they work the best is out in the landscape, and you go ahead and plant them and space them apart, okay? And they will fill and grow, but they stay very compact and uniform. And they keep on covering up their older flowers. So we call that covering their dead, right? You don't have to deadhead them. They do their thing. They spread and fill out. They are gorgeous. There's wonderful colors. You've got the cherry red here, golden yellow, white. I'm going to show you this one. This is an award winner. This guy is double deep salmon, beautiful flowers on here. But again, they just keep on producing on top of the old and continue to branch and fill out. So if you enjoy zinnias, but you don't necessarily enjoy the clipping and cutting maintenance, try the profusion. They are phenomenal. They're really great. Right here, we have a little bit of a taller series. So profusion's probably around, I don't know, maybe 8 to 12 inches tall. Magellan here are the larger, more double flowers. And I should tell you, zinnias, again, great flowers for the pollinators. All the pollinators like zinnias. Birds like them, bees like them, everybody in between likes them, right? So Magellan zinnias, a little bit taller, usually around the 10 to 15 inch mark. But again, you're getting that double flower out of them, much larger than the profusion. But again, you might have to clip them a little bit more, make sure that you're deadheading the flowers or using them as a cut flower for you to kind of keep them going. And lots of colors, pinks, oranges, creams, all those in between. Great flower here. This is Cleome, or also known as spider flower. And this series that we have is from Proven Winners. It's the Senorita series. So we have Senorita Rosalita and Senorita Blanca. They're just starting to shoot up here. Nice plants for kind of that middle or back of an annual planting border. Beautiful plants. And with the Senorita series, you don't see the yellow and the bare knees that we see with a lot of the Cleome. This is also a plant that's good for pollinators and also fairly deer resistant. So if you're looking for something, gives you a little bit of height, it can be used as a thriller in a container garden as well. Try the Cleome, you'll love it. Enjoy.